What if everything you thought you knew about the British royal family was suddenly turned upside down? Behind the scenes, Prince William has reportedly been preparing for the throne in a way the public is only now beginning to understand. According to insiders, this is not a distant future scenario, it's something already unfolding in real time. With King Charles III continuing his battle with illness, the balance of power inside Buckingham Palace appears to be quietly shifting, and at the center of it all is William, a future king who, many believe, is no longer waiting for the crown to begin leading. Sources close to the palace suggest that William has effectively stepped into the role of an unofficial king, taking on responsibilities that go far beyond what is traditionally expected of the Prince of Wales. This transition hasn't been announced publicly, but insiders claim the institution is already preparing emotionally for what comes next. It's described not as a sudden takeover, but as a gradual and carefully managed shift, one designed to maintain stability while adapting to changing circumstances. Reports indicate that since early 2024, when the palace confirmed the king's cancer diagnosis, William has steadily increased his public presence and influence. He has taken on more engagements, played a larger role in decision-making, and positioned himself as the face of the monarchy's future. According to well-placed sources, this is almost part of a long-term strategy, ensure continuity while quietly preparing for transition. In this context, the idea that William could assume full authority sooner than expected no longer seems far-fetched. It feels like a natural progression already underway. What makes this moment particularly significant is not just the possibility of succession, but the way it is happening. Unlike past transitions marked by clear, formal milestones, this one appears to be unfolding behind closed doors, shaped by necessity rather than ceremony. The monarchy, as those familiar with its inner workings often say, survives by adapting. And right now, that adaptation seems to be centered on William's steady, calculated, and already operating as the leader many believe he is destined to become. At its core, the monarchy has always been about adaptation rather than reaction. When the formal transition of power eventually takes place, it is expected to feel less like a sudden surrender and more like an inevitable evolution. Prince William has been preparing for this role his entire life, and every credible signal suggests he is not passively waiting for the crown. Instead, he appears to be stepping into the responsibilities of kingship already quietly, strategically, and with a level of clarity that has caught many observers off guard. However, this quiet consolidation of influence has not been universally welcomed within palace circles. As William's role expands, tensions are reportedly emerging behind closed doors, particularly involving Queen Camilla. According to various insider accounts, her reaction to these developments has been far from composed. Reports suggest she has expressed frustration over how key decisions, especially those surrounding Prince Andrew and his removal from public life, have been handled, with some claims indicating she felt sidelined during critical moments. More broadly, sources describe a growing sense of unease within Camilla's circle. Having spent years working toward her role as queen, the idea of stepping back or even appearing to has reportedly been difficult to accept. She is said to value her position and influence deeply, making any perceived shift in power feel premature. At the same time, the increasing visibility and authority of William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, as a leading force within the monarchy has only intensified that perception. From this perspective, what may appear externally as a smooth and strategic transition is, internally, far more complex. Some insiders suggest that recent decisions such as the handling of Andrew's living arrangements have been interpreted as calculated moves by the Waleses to strengthen their position. Whether intentional or not, these actions have contributed to a narrative within certain circles that influence is gradually shifting away from the current queen and toward the future king and queen. In this evolving landscape, the monarchy is not just preparing for a change in leadership, it is navigating the delicate balance between continuity and control. And as power subtly realigns, the personal dynamics behind palace walls may prove just as significant as the public transition itself. As power dynamics inside the palace continue to shift, Queen Camilla is reportedly finding herself in an increasingly uncomfortable position, one that insiders describe as being reduced to a spectator in decisions that once involved her directly. Senior figures within royal circles are said to be quietly acknowledging an unavoidable reality. When Catherine, Princess of Wales, becomes queen, Camilla's influence and privileges will ultimately depend on the new order established by the Waleses. For someone who spent decades working toward her place at the top, that realization is said to be a difficult one to accept. This tension has reportedly spilled over into a deeper and more personal divide between Camilla and Kate. What might once have been dismissed as minor disagreements has, according to multiple sources, evolved into a strained and increasingly distant relationship. Courtiers are even said to be carefully managing schedules to minimize direct interaction between the two, a sign of just how delicate the situation has become. One of the key flashpoints often cited is a high-profile state visit involving Donald Trump, where every detail from appearances to symbolism was closely scrutinized. During that visit, Kate's prominent role and confident presence reportedly drew significant attention, with some insiders suggesting it reinforced her position as the future face of the monarchy. Even small details, such as wardrobe choices and ceremonial gestures, were interpreted by observers as subtle signals of shifting influence within the royal hierarchy. What makes this situation particularly significant is that it goes beyond personal differences. At its core, it reflects a broader power transition within a modernizing monarchy, one where influence, visibility, and public perception carry immense weight. In this evolving landscape, neither side appears willing to step back, and the tension is seen by some as part of a larger realignment already underway. At the same time, Prince William is not only preparing to inherit the crown, he is preparing to reshape what that role looks like. In recent public remarks, he has made it clear that change is part of his long-term vision. Rather than dismantling tradition entirely, William appears focused on refining it, keeping what remains relevant while modernizing what no longer fits today's expectations. According to royal commentators, this could mean a more streamlined monarchy, fewer ceremonial excesses, shorter and more focused events, and a reduction in what some view as outdated displays of grandeur. The goal is not to erase history, but to adapt it, making the institution more efficient, relatable, and aligned with contemporary values. In essence, the monarchy is entering a transitional phase where tradition meets transformation, and at the center of it all stands William, positioning himself not just as the next king, but as the architect of what the monarchy will become in the years ahead. As Prince William continues shaping his future role, one theme stands out clearly: constant evaluation and adaptation. He is not interested in maintaining tradition for tradition's sake. Instead, he reportedly believes that every long-standing royal practice should be reassessed to determine whether it still holds value in a modern world. While he may reduce the number of public engagements, the focus will shift toward making each appearance more meaningful and impactful. This marks a deliberate move away from purely ceremonial duties, such as routine ribbon-cutting events, toward initiatives that create lasting influence. In his own words during an interview with Sky News in South Africa, William expressed a desire to redefine what royal service looks like for his generation. His vision is of a monarchy that feels accessible and relatable, one that connects with people directly rather than remaining distant behind layers of formality. This philosophy reflects a broader shift toward a smaller R monarchy, where relevance is prioritized over grandeur. However, alongside this modern approach is a reputation for strategic discipline. Sources suggest that William operates with calculated precision rather than emotional impulse. He is not known for easily forgetting or overlooking challenges, and those who cross him may find that consequences follow. This mindset represents a notable departure from the more traditional, relationship-driven leadership style associated with King Charles III. This difference became particularly evident during the handling of Prince Andrew's controversies. For many observers, this moment served as William's first major test as a de facto leader within the monarchy. While Charles was reportedly more cautious and inclined toward a measured response, William is said to have pushed for decisive action, advocating for Andrew's full removal from public duties to protect the institution's reputation. In the end, that more pragmatic, results-driven approach appeared to shape the outcome. Royal commentators, including figures like Jenny Bond and Robert Jobson, have noted that this moment revealed key aspects of William's leadership style: discipline, clarity, and a willingness to prioritize the monarchy over personal relationships. It also highlighted a growing divide within the royal family, particularly between William and Queen Camilla, who reportedly viewed some of these moves, such as Andrew's eviction from Royal Lodge, as overly forceful and exclusionary. The situation extended further, touching on concerns about other members of the York family, including Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie. While William is said to favor limiting their public visibility during sensitive periods, Charles has reportedly leaned toward a more reconciliatory approach, emphasizing family unity. This difference in perspective underscores a broader contrast between the current monarch and his heir, one prioritizing continuity and healing, the other focused on control, discipline, and institutional protection. Taken together, these developments suggest that a future King William would likely adopt a firm, decisive leadership style with little tolerance for controversy overshadowing royal duties. It signals a shift toward a more structured and strategically managed monarchy, one that operates with clear boundaries and expectations. And at the center of this transformation stands Catherine, Princess of Wales. Widely regarded by insiders as a stabilizing force, she is often described as the quiet strategist behind much of the operation. As William prepares for the crown, Kate is not merely accompanying him, she is playing a crucial role in shaping the monarchy's next chapter. At the center of this transformation stands Catherine, Princess of Wales, widely regarded by insiders as indispensable to the monarchy's future. Royal author Russell Myers has emphasized that Kate's background gives her a unique advantage. Her understanding of life beyond palace walls allows her to connect with the public in a way that strengthens the institution's relevance. This perspective is something Prince William values deeply, especially as he moves toward a more modern, structured approach to royal leadership. Far from being a passive figure, Kate is described as an active partner in shaping the monarchy's direction. Sources suggest she fully supports William's vision of running the institution with greater efficiency, almost like a well-organized enterprise, where stability both for their family and for the nation remains the top priority. Commentators such as Hilary Fordwich have noted that Kate's influence is only expected to grow, particularly behind the scenes, as the monarchy evolves in the coming years. What truly sets her apart, however, is resilience. After facing her own serious health challenges, Kate returned to public life with renewed strength, earning widespread admiration. Insiders describe her as a stabilizing force during a period of uncertainty, someone focused on maintaining unity while supporting William through complex and often difficult decisions. Rather than stepping back, she has reportedly become even more composed and determined. Observers often point to the strength of William and Kate's partnership as a defining factor in their success. Their dynamic is seen as complementary, with both contributing to a shared long-term vision, not only for the monarchy, but also for the upbringing of their children, including Prince George of Wales. The emphasis on stability at home is viewed as a foundation for stability within the institution itself. Looking ahead, the implications of this partnership are significant. When William eventually ascends the throne as King William V, Kate will step into her role as queen consort, yet many believe her influence will extend far beyond ceremonial duties. She is expected to play a central role in shaping a redefined monarchy, one that reflects both tradition and modern expectations. The transition itself is anticipated to follow established constitutional patterns. Upon the passing of King Charles III, William would immediately become king, with Prince George moving into the position of heir apparent. A coronation would follow, though reports suggest it would likely be more streamlined than previous ceremonies, shorter, less elaborate, and more accessible to the public. Under William's leadership, the monarchy is expected to operate with greater transparency, accountability, and purpose. The focus would shift toward meaningful engagement rather than ceremonial excess, signaling a clear departure from older models of royal tradition. In many ways, this moment represents more than a change of monarch. It marks the beginning of a new era, one defined by adaptation, discipline, and a carefully managed vision for the future. The era in which the monarchy could hide behind centuries of tradition and expect the public not to ask questions appears to be coming to an end. Royal expert Ava Ashington Ponghagen suggests that Prince William is unlikely to strip Prince Harry and Meghan Markle of their titles, as he does not want such a move to define his reign. According to her, taking that step could make him appear petty, whereas William's real focus lies in building a meaningful legacy through charitable work and long-term institutional reform, rather than revisiting past conflicts. That said, not everything is set to change. Despite his modern outlook, William alongside Catherine, Princess of Wales, is believed to value tradition. Key royal events such as Trooping in the Colour, which has marked the monarch's official birthday for over 260 years, are expected to remain intact. The difference lies in approach. Rather than dismantling the monarchy's foundations, William is likely to refine and modernize them, making long-standing traditions more relevant to contemporary society. The question of Queen Camilla remains more